morning. So it is Saturday. It is 10:30ish, I think. Hi. Oh, it's probably later than that by now. It's probably 11:30 maybe even. And I think I'm gonna she's pretty wide awake. Some mornings she's sleeping right now, and she seems wide awake. So I think I'm going to take her to the mall so I can get a little bit of walking in, and if she's up for it, I might try and return some pants to a store that I ordered online. Look at these cute outfits that Mike's aunt and cousins, I can't find the top for, oh here it is. Mike's aunt and cousins bought these for Vera and gave them to us at his cousin's bridal shower. They're 3 to 6 months, so they're gonna be a little big. This one actually looks like it might fit her soon. And I like how they're kind of big. Well, maybe this is more like a legging style. But I find that her cloth diapers look ridiculous in regular legging style pants sometimes. So these are I think these are gonna work out really nice. Yeah, they've got like, this one's got the elastic at the bottom, and Carter seems like such good quality. You wanna go to the mall? I don't know if you guys have been following my Snapchat, but we have a mourning dove nest on our air conditioner in our bedroom. And she lets us get real close. Well, I can never tell because they take turns, so I can never tell which one's mommy and which one's daddy. But any day now, there is going to be a little baby MOU. Mike calls them MOUs. It's a long story. Maybe I'll tell you later. It's because it's mourning dove spelled MOU, and he used to say that every time he saw one when we were dating. So finally, I told him, you don't have to tell me how to spell it. I know how to spell it, and it was funny. This is the new thing. Grab the toes, roll to the side, roll back. It's kind of like an exercise. Huh. Grab the toes, roll to the side. Hi guys, so I'm home now. I am all sweaty and I've got a little baby next to me. She is insisting lately, not every time, but a lot of the time she insists on eating sitting up. So she also does this thing where she grabs my breast tissue in her fingers and pinches and pulls it towards her face, which is adorable, but it also makes it sound like she's suffocating, and I try my best to avoid that. So if you hear a lot of heavy breathing and lip smacking, that's because she's just doing it her way. She's just doing it her way. So she's confused because she can see me in the she's confused because she can see me in the phone. We just went on some errands, and the day's not shaping up how I thought it would. Actually, it's more exciting because we're gonna go visit my mom and go see Grandma, which we were gonna do tomorrow instead. But I just wanted to talk to you for a moment about social anxiety and just general, just general self-esteem issues, I suppose, which lead to anxiety. So I had to return some pants to Motherhood Maternity. I purchased them online, assuming that the sizes and the fit and everything would be the same as when I was pregnant. And it was embarrassing enough that I had to even buy them, but all of the clothes that I had that were the size I am now, I donated or sold while I was on my weight loss journey before I got pregnant. And hold on, I need to prop my arm up. And now that I am postpartum and my belly has always been my biggest problem area, I am finding it hard to just wear regular clothes. I mean, I have a lot of stretchy black pants, and I've been wearing a lot of dresses lately. And I'm sort of trying to work through that mentally because I can tell that my stomach's just, it's going to take a long time to come back from where it was. So I know that it's going to take a while to come back from that because I've been sort of wishy-washy about weight loss because I'm worried. I can tell that when I lower my calories, which I know it sounds really stupid to even say this because it's like obviously one thing affects the other, but when I lower my calories, my milk supply seems to be affected. Not hugely, and she is okay to start solids soon, but I don't have enough where I could pump to even add to her oatmeal cereal, for example. Or at least I would have to forego feeding her in order to pump so that I could feed her something later with the breast milk, if that makes sense. And she hates it with formula. I tried that recently, and she hates the taste of formula. I did get out of the habit of pumping because I used to try and do it to increase my supply. This is going down a whole rabbit hole of stuff here, but I guess I haven't talked about any of this yet, and I'm not going to, I don't think, film much more for the rest of the day, but yeah. But I got out of the habit of even pumping to have anything on hand in case Mike wanted to feed her or a family member or somebody was going to be over, because she stopped taking bottles. She won't take anything other than the breast. She won't take a binky, which I suppose I'm relieved by to an extent, but she won't take a binky. She won't take a nipple. And I suppose that's, you know, what they call nipple confusion, which is really more like nipple preference. And if I had to pick one, I'd obviously prefer the breast. But it just makes some things difficult. But anyway, my goal was to breastfeed her until 6 months. I think that I'll be able to do that. But now that 6 months is rapidly approaching, because at the end of this month, the 30th of this month, she'll be 5 months old, I don't think I'm ready to stop. The thought of not continuing until her first birthday or as close to that as I can get makes me sad. But I mean, I'm grateful to have been able to do this much, and if I had to stop tomorrow for my own health, I would. So I struggle with that because I don't want to do anything drastic enough to affect my milk supply, and I also don't want to delay working on myself physically, because if we want to hopefully try to have more children in the future, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it at the weight I'm currently at. So I'm only about 10 pounds less than I was when I started my weight loss journey, unfortunately. I gained about 50 pounds in my pregnancy. The last 20 came on so fast at the end. It was like, in fact, the last 15, I swear, happened in like the last 2 weeks. I don't know if that's normal, but my doctor didn't seem concerned about it. They were more worried if my blood pressure would go up at the same time, and it didn't. But that being said, I've been trying to get back onto low carb, and I've read a lot about low carb breastfeeding and low carb eating and not having your weight budge, or any kind of dietary changes that that don't improve your weight because you're breastfeeding. And I'm okay with that. I just want to get in the habits now of doing the right things so that when the time comes and when I do stop breastfeeding her, then hopefully I've got those habits in place. So that's why I went to the mall and walked today, and that's why I'm telling you the story that it has taken me like 8 minutes to say to start. So I went to Motherhood Maternity to return the pants, and unfortunately at our local location, there have been some just rude people who've worked there before. I remember one of them saying something nasty to my sister when she was pregnant and shopping there. And then I went there once recently, and when I was pregnant, and the person was kind of condescending. But this girl was so sweet and so wonderful, and she didn't make a remark about the fact that I still needed maternity clothes postpartum, because I'm sure that happens, right? I don't know. I feel like everybody who had babies around the time that I did, even the women who are obese like I am, they have flat stomachs now. Everybody has problem areas, but it is not their stomach, so that's hard. I'm just waiting for the day that somebody asks me if I'm expecting another, but whatever. You guys know I would have taken this. I would have taken this no matter what, At any point in my journey, had I known that I could have been in this position physically and had her, are you kidding me? I would have, I would have signed right up for that. So it's just embarrassing. So I had to do a step up from the extra large to the 1X. Luckily they had them in the store, so I exchanged them. They're like the over the belly panel jeans, but they look like jeans. They feel like jeans until you get to the belly. And then I feel like I can comfortably do things like go out in public and, go to people's birthday parties and showers, and I have a family reunion coming up in a couple of months that I know I'm not going to be thinner for, and they take pictures, and it's like, do whatever can make you feel as comfortable as possible. Luckily, I married the biggest saint in the world, because Mike constantly reminds me of that. He says that feeding her is my priority. I'm so blessed to have him. I feel constantly like I don't deserve him, and I struggle with that. But I love him enough that I'm going to work damn hard to give him the wife that I feel like he deserves. So, but it's easier said than done, and I'm physically in a really rough spot right now. I guess I just didn't realize how much I was lacking physically in my abilities, because I used to do a lot. I won't even go through my history of workouts and just in the classes I used to take and all of that. So just walking right now, it feels like a lot for me. So I've been walking around in the mall. I've been trying to go before they open, but if she's sleeping, I'm not going to affect her. I'm not going to change her schedule or what she's comfortable with. And she's not on a schedule. I just let her sort of lead the way with whatever her needs are and her wants are. I don't know. That's just what feels right to me. And when she's older, I'll worry about being more on a schedule. And so if I can get there before the mall opens, that's ideal, because it's mostly just elderly people who are walking, and they just want to walk and go home. They're not really, I mean, some of them socialize, but they're not there to chat. But I live a couple of miles away from the mall that is the mall that I grew up near. So it's kind of cool, because it's the mall my mom used to take me to. I remember being in like the umbrella stroller and going around the mall with her and going shopping, and I love that I can do that in the same building, that whatever. But there's also downsides to living where you grew up, because you could see anybody that you've ever known. I've talked about this before, and that affects my anxiety, because a lot of people don't know me at this weight. They know me 100 pounds ago or less. Especially some of the people that I could potentially run into there. And it's like, what's the big deal? Who cares? You're fat now. That's not that bad. You didn't kill anybody. You're not a terrorist. Who cares? And my life is certainly easier now socially with her, because I know a lot of people who've found out, just through word of mouth, that we were having problems conceiving. People don't know how to talk to you. They don't know what to say, especially if they see you with their own kids or whatever. So, but it doesn't change things. I still get anxious, and I went to motherhood, and that went well, and she's usually good for the first destination. Wherever we have to go, if I have 2 places to go, I go to the more important one first. And the more important one should have been the walk, but I just wanted to get that return over with, because I don't know, I wanted to do it. I initially thought I was going to just take the clothes back, but I ended up being lucky enough to get new stuff. So then I was like, okay, that went well, so what if she has a meltdown? And then I'm finding myself on the way to the mall, and even in the parking lot at the mall, listing all these reasons in my head. I can talk myself out of anything. I can talk anybody out of anything, which is also what makes me a good salesperson. I could talk anybody into anything too. But I sat there and I was like, what if she poops? What if she screams? What if I see, how there's like a top 5 list of people that you never ever want to see under any circumstances? Like, what if I see one of those people? It's just so stupid. Why did I do that to myself? I sat there for a long time too, because she fell asleep. So I'm sitting there in the car for probably, I don't know, a half hour. And then I drove home. And the whole way home, I hated my own guts. I was so mad at myself. And then as soon as I got to my driveway, I drove past it and looped around and drove back to the mall again. Because I said, no, you're not going to do this. You're not going to do this today. You're turning over a new leaf and you're going to go into that mall and walk it. It takes me 20 minutes to walk the whole place. Just one lap. Just do it, Carisa. You're not going to get anywhere new doing all the same things that you always did. So, I mean, luckily I don't live that far away, but that's something I experienced today. That's something I'm going through. And I guess I'm sharing it because just like anything else that I'm embarrassed by, I'm hoping to grow, and I'm hoping that by sharing it with you guys, it holds me accountable, and it also helps you if you are in the same position and you're like, no, if Carisa can do it because she is anxious about everything, then I can do it. And guess what? I didn't see a single person I knew. I was able to return a shirt to Tora that I accidentally bought 2 of somehow. And the baby didn't even fuss. She didn't poop. None of that happened. I got to walk the mall. I got out. I came home. And I'm so much happier that I did it. Now, of course, tomorrow is a whole nother story. But I'll deal with that when I come to it. There's no need to start stressing about it now. Who cares? You know? So, I feel good about that. I'm glad I did it. It's such a very small, it's like 1,400 steps on my step tracker. That's such a small number, but it's a huge amount to not have done, right? And every time I walk through the doors and I go in there, I say to myself, this is not so bad. And then once I leave, I'm so proud of myself for doing it. And it's such a small thing. So if I can start here, then hopefully I can get, you know, I can get to a much better place from this point. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And now I'm going to change her clothes because I think she might be too hot. I think it's gotten kind of warm out. And we're going to go see Grandma. You want to go to Grandma's? We got to get back in the car. You're going to hate it.
Might be so wild.
I'm kissing toes. She's not going to do it now.
Hi. Hi.
No interest in cereal, Dad. Bib's all she wants.